Have you ever been dared to knock on a door 3 times? And when you did, you heard a voice answering you. Have you ever dared to enter a place forbidden by locals, but curious enough to do it anyway? Only to find out that the place was haunted. Well, today we lines talk about the curse of the 3 knocks and how listening to it may cost you your life. Stay tuned till the end to know what happens next time you dare to knock 3 times on any door. But first, here's a little story that will give you goosebumps. Do you often get goosebumps when watching horror movies? Well, I do. And one of the classic horror tropes is the part where someone knocks on a door 3 times and when they open the door, no one's there. Well, what if I told you that this trope didn't start in Hollywood, but was a folk belief that has lasted for generations? And what if I told you that opening the door may bring you misfortune or even death? In the Appalachian Mountains, there was once a community where people were wary of anyone who dared to knock on the door 3 times. According to their lore, this was a ritual used by witches to summon dark spirits or demons. After all, who would be knocking at someone's door in the middle of the night unless it was a desperate soul seeking shelter or a tricksy witch? Many a tale tells of those who succumbed to curiosity and answered the door to find only a biting wind or even a ghostly apparition on the doorstep. Some said that those who answered the summons were doomed to suffer tragedy or misfortune. Others claimed that those brave or foolish enough to follow the specter into the night were never seen again. But let's think about this for a moment. Why 3 knocks and not 2 or 4? Why exactly 3? The reason behind the superstition is deeply rooted in human psychology and folklore. The number 3 has long held a significant place in human culture and belief systems. It's been associated with various concepts such as birth, life and death, past, present and future, and heaven, earth and hell. The significance of 3 in folklore often relates to its representation of a complete cycle, a full sequence, or a definitive conclusion. In many traditional tales, the third attempt, action, or encounter holds greater weight or consequence than the preceding ones. The third knock aligns with this tradition, carrying a sense of finality, climax, or resolution. This is exemplified in the Beware the Third cat tale. In this Scottish fairy tale, the protagonist is repeatedly warned to avoid the third cat he encounters, as this particular feline is a witch in disguise. Each cat symbolizes temptation and transformation, with the third encounter representing a critical test of the hero's resolve. When he succumbs to the temptation and strokes the third cat, he is trapped forever. This story illustrates how the third in a sequence carries heightened significance in folklore. But the terror doesn't end there. Let me take you on a journey through history and show you how this legend evolved, shaped by fears that are as old as humanity itself. We'll uncover stories from distant corners of the globe, weaving a tapestry of beliefs and superstitions that converge on this haunting refrain: never knock 3 times. As we dive into the depths of this chilling narrative, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you'll become part of our growing community of myth and legend enthusiasts. Together, we'll explore the darkest recesses of folklore, unearthing tales that have captivated and terrified audiences for generations. So join me on this spine-tingling adventure and let's delve into the heart of the legend together. Our first stop takes us to the historical town of Sleepy Hollow, New York, where the legend of the Headless Horseman still echoes through the misty autumn air. This legendary tale by Washington Irving weaves a spooky narrative of a valiant but unlucky schoolmaster named Ichabod Crane, his ill-fated encounter with the ghost of a Hessian trooper whose head was blown off by a cannonball during the Revolutionary War. As Ichabod rides home one fateful night, he hears the rhythmic pounding of a horse's hooves and the clash of swords. Soon, he finds himself face to face with the terrifying apparition of the Headless Horseman. In a desperate bid to escape, Ichabod flees, and the chase culminates in a heart-stopping moment at the bridge over the Pocantico River. The horseman calls out to him, demanding his head. just as he reaches for it. However, Ichabod stumbles and falls into the river, disappearing into its murky depths. Though his body is never recovered, some believe he managed to escape. Years later, a new school teacher arrives in Sleepy Hollow, riding the same horse Ichabod had been astride. And wouldn't you know it, he too vanishes into the night, never to be seen again. Could it be that the headless horseman claimed another victim? Or did he simply ride off into the sunset? Now, picture this. You're home alone, snuggled up on the couch watching a movie when suddenly you hear it. A knock, knock, knock. You turn to look at the door. At first you think it's just the wind, but then it happens again. Knock, knock, knock. Curiosity gets the better of you and you decide to check it out. But when you open the door, everything looks normal. No one's there. But the mystery deepens when you notice 3 small pebbles on your welcome mat, arranged in a perfect line. You pick them up and examine them, wondering who could have left them there and why. Then it hits you, the TV show you were watching, The Legend of the 3 Knocks. Suddenly, you're filled with dread, realizing that you may have just invited trouble into your home. Now you're on edge, listening intently for any sign of disturbance. But just when you start to relax, you hear it again. Knock, knock, knock. What do you do now? And if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Your support means everything to me and motivates me to keep bringing you the best stories. Now let's get back to the legend. Let's venture into the realm of Slavic folklore and encounter Baba Yaga, the enigmatic crone who resides in a house that stands on chicken legs. Her hut is deep within the forest, surrounded by an impenetrable wall, and her gnarled staff serves as a conduit to the spirit world. Those who seek her wisdom or aid must first brave a perilous journey, often involving the crossing of a dark river, the slaying of mythical beasts, and the solving of riddles. One such seeker was a young woman who ventured to Baba Yaga's hut in search of help. As she approached the house, she heard 3 distinct knocks, each one echoing with supernatural resonance. Baba Yaga's knock. These knocks served as a warning, signaling the imminent arrival of a spirit that would soon enter the girl's dreams. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, she took swift action. She made a cross, sprinkled herself with holy water, and began to chant protective prayers. The spirit was momentarily repelled, but it persisted, determined to breach her defenses. With renewed vigor, the girl continued her vigil, steadfastly resisting the spirit's advances. Finally, as dawn approached, the spirit, exhausted and defeated, retreated, leaving the girl to rest easy for the moment. When she awoke, she found a small box by her bed, which contained a magical flower. This flower would ensure her every wish would come true. However, she had to be careful. The flower's magic was potent, and using it unwisely could bring ruin, so listen closely. Should you ever hear 3 knocks on your door, especially if they seem to come from beyond, take heed, for they might be the harbinger of a spiritual awakening. Whether benevolent or malevolent, the consequences can be profound, forever altering the course of your life. Are you ready to unravel the secrets hidden within these eerie tales? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've experienced anything similar, I encourage you to share your story with us. Who knows, it might be the next chilling addition to our growing collection of the unexplained. And if you want to continue exploring the realms of the unknown, I invite you to watch this video.